So about 2 years ago, I made a video called The Best Counterstrike Settings in 2024. I made the same video in 2025, and as you can see on screen, they both did really well. You guys really enjoyed them. So I thought I'd make it a tradition and make a third iteration of it. So as you guys can tell by the title, I'm going to be showing you guys the best Counterstrike settings in 2026. Now, in my previous videos, I've only really touched on in-game settings. This video, I'm going to touch on in-game settings as well as specific resolution settings. Now, the last thing before we get into the settings themselves, I want to tell you about the sponsor of this video, SkinsMonkey. This video is sponsored by SkinsMonkey. SkinsMonkey is a buying and trading website with over 150,000 available skins, which means it's a super fast and safe way to change up the skins in your inventory. If you don't want to trade away your old skins, then don't worry. SkinsMonkey also has free daily, weekly, and monthly giveaways for you to enter and win new skins for your inventory. They also have live 24/7 support. SkinsMonkey is offering up to a free $5 alongside a 35% deposit bonus to anyone who uses code Kaizo and deposits money using one of the many deposit methods for their first trade. Thanks to SkinsMonkey for sponsoring this video. Their link is in the description. Let's get back to the video. Now, when you first open your settings, you're going to be on this screen, the video settings screen. For the first setting, we're going to go to display and make sure it's on your monitor 1. So I'm on a Zowie monitor, so it's on monitor 1, the Zowie XL LCD. For my display mode, it's on full screen. I said it in the first video, but the full screen is by far the best setting you can use. Windowed is good if you tab out a lot, but I think you get less FPS using windowed and full screen windowed compared to using just full screen, so I'd recommend using full screen. For aspect ratio, it's mostly up to personal preference. I made a video at the end of 2024 really diving into what the best resolution to use, and at the end I basically said that you want to play 4x3 if you want bigger models, like bigger player models, and you want to play 16:9 if you want to see more on the sides of your screen. Right now there's examples of what it looks like, so if you're playing with 4x3, as you can see, the size of your screen is kind of cut in, whereas if you're playing 16:9, it's the full size of your monitor, but things are skinnier. So it is personal preference, but for most people, and also a lot of pro players, they find that 4x3 is the best. Now, if you do decide to play 16:9, I can recommend playing on 1920x1080. That is what most people's monitors are going to handle. If you have a higher end monitor that can run a higher quality, higher than 1080p, then I recommend running that, but a lot of people only have 1080p monitors, so I would recommend running 1920x1080. If you're running 4x3, there are two good resolutions I recommend. I play on 1440x1080, which is the upscaled version of 4x3. A lot of people also play 1280x960. That was really popular in CSGO, but in CS2, I feel the difference really isn't that noticeable, so I would recommend playing 1440x1080 if your system can handle it. For refresh rate down here, just put it on the highest that's available. I play on a 240Hz monitor, but CS caps at 239. I play 239 if you have like a 500Hz monitor, then play as close to 500 as you possibly can. I don't really see a reason to go down to anything lower than what your monitor can handle because it's a competitive disadvantage. For brightness, I haven't touched this setting since beta. I'm honestly not sure why I play at 67%. I promise it's not the 6-7 joke. I believe this is up to personal preference. I like to play in a dark room, so I don't really want a super bright game, and I've never had issues with not being able to see things on my screen. So this is really personal preference. Pick whatever looks good to you. Just be careful because sitting in a dark room with a super bright monitor can cause eye strain and eye damage over time, so I'd watch out for that. Now for the advanced video tab, for boost player contrast, I keep it on enabled, but you do get a slight FPS loss if you do have it on enabled, so I kind of switch in between enabled and disabled. So if you have a lower end machine or you're really care about the most FPS possible, I would recommend going disabled. You can't really see a difference in game, but mine's on enabled right now. It's really, again, up to what you need. If you need more FPS, play disabled. And if you feel like with it enabled you see players better, then I recommend having it on enabled if you can handle the FPS loss. VSync always should be disabled. NVIDIA G-Sync is disabled for me. For NVIDIA reflex low latency, it kind of depends what's in your computer. If you are CPU bound, I believe it's enabled, and if you're GPU bound, I believe you're supposed to put it on enabled plus boost, but definitely don't have it disabled. This can actually really help you with performance in game. Maximum FPS in game, I have it on 0. That just means it's uncapped. And then maximum FPS in menus is 200. It's in menus. It doesn't need to be the highest of the high refresh rate, so I just keep it at 200. Now for my current video values preset, I have it on custom. Multi-sampling anti-aliasing mode is at 8x MSAA. Global shadow quality is at high. Dynamic shadows at all. Model and texture details at low. Texture filtering mode bilinear. Shader detail is at low. Particle details at low, ambient occlusion is at high, high dynamic range is at quality, and Fidelity FX Super Resolution is at disabled highest quality. One thing to note with the Fidelity FX Super Resolution is if you change this up to like performance or balanced or quality, really if you change it off disabled, you will see a noticeable difference in the quality of your game. I mean, it looks really bad, and I've been playing competitive shooters all my life, and I'm used to turning down graphic settings to get more FPS, but trust me, it looks really bad. I wouldn't recommend running it. I think disabled highest quality looks the best. Now for our HUD edge positions, I keep it on the maximum. I think it looks the best. This is personal preference again. If you want to change this up, you totally can, but I don't. Now, hopping into the audio settings, one thing I want to note that I'm using a Logitech G Pro X Lightspeed 2 headset, I believe it's called. So these settings are tailored towards my headset, but I know these settings do work for a lot of people and are a good like base setting guide. For my master volume, I have it 80%. It might make things slightly more quiet. Honestly, I prefer having it a little bit quieter so my ears aren't like ringing or hurting by the time I'm done playing. So I keep this at 80%. I do this with most multiplayer games. I've never noticed a difference. I can still hear footsteps. For main menu, ambience volume, I keep it 100. I've never touched that. Audio device, default device. You can change it to like your specific headset, but default works. For EQ profile, I have it on crisp. So crisp enhances mid and high frequency bands, as you can see in like the box on the screen. Footsteps and gunshots are in the mid highs, so this is going to boost footsteps and gunshots. Just it's good for having map info, knowing where opponents are, so I'd recommend having it on crisp. Left to right isolation, I have it on 0. Perspective correction, no. And play audio when game in background, no. For voice, other player voice volume, I have it 100. I want to prioritize the comms in my game, even if it's a little bit louder than my in-game volume itself. I prefer it like this. Voice microphone mode, push to talk. Voice input audio device, it's on my microphone for my headset, so you can change it here, but it's on my headset mic. Hear my own voice is off. Streamline push talk, yes. And microphone trigger threshold is on -120. I'm not sure if that's the default, but I can't remember ever changing the setting. For music, main menu volume is at 0%. Round start volume, 0%. Round action volume, 0%. Round end volume, 0%. MVP volume, 40%. Bomb hostage volume, 0%. 10-second warning volume, 20%. Death camera volume, 0%. Mute MVP music when players on both teams are alive. No. One thing I want to know here is 10-second warning volume. You should definitely have this turned up, at least so you can hear it. I don't have it turned up all the way, so like it doesn't distract me if I'm like in a clutch situation, but you definitely want this up there so you know like when the bomb's gonna explode and if you might have time to defuse the bomb or not. So yeah, definitely have this turned up. It's personal preference, but make sure you can hear it. Game mode EQ, I don't think I've ever touched this. Competitive EQ, default. Casual EQ, default. Deathmatch EQ, default. Arms race EQ, default. All right, now for the game tab, enable developer consoles. Yes, you should always have this enabled. It just lets you put in some commands. It's good. Recommend having it enabled. Max acceptable matchmaking ping, I have it on 50. Basically all it's going to do is let your game search for matches within this amount of ping, nothing more. It's always going to be less than that, or 50 itself, or whatever you have it set at. So you can kind of like look at the server lists and like see the nearest servers and then set this to whatever the furthest server away from you that you're okay playing with it has for ping. Max acceptable game traffic bandwidth extremely restricted. Buffering to smooth over packet loss / jitter, none. Install Counterstrike workshop tools, no. HUD scale is on 0.90. I like my HUD really small. I think it looks more minimalistic. I think it's less distracting, so I keep it on 0.90. HUD color, purple, completely personal preference. I think purple looks cool, but it's completely personal preference. Large player count, no. Sometimes I will have it on yes, but it just kind of depends. Community notification location, top right. Community notification horizontal offset, 0. Community notification vertical offset, 0. Glow weapon with rarity color, yes. And override spectating HUD color, no. For team, show team ID through walls. I have pips, names, health, and equipment. Show player colors in competitive. Show colors. Use player colors on team ID. Yes. Friends lobby default permissions. All friends can join. Looking to play when Counterstrike starts. Remember last state. I guess some of these are very personal preference. You can have these on whatever you want. I think the one that I definitely say is like definitively the best is this first one here. Put it show team ID through walls. I just like showing as much information as possible. You know, you could see everything about your teammate and you don't have to ask or anything. So I'd recommend putting it on pips, names, health, and equipment. For communication, player pings, display, and play sound. Mute enemy team, no. Mute all but friends, no. Allow animated avatars, yes. Hide avatar images and customized items. Show all. Clean player names, no. For spectator and scoreboard, spectator map vote number selection method is use number keys. Scoreboard mouse enable, end of match scoreboard toggle, secondary fire. End of the match local player defeat animation enabled. Survivors always on, no. Smooth spectator camera, yes. And smooth spectator camera speed is at 1. That's probably default. I can't remember ever changing that. Item, detached silencer on M4A1S and USPS, disabled. View model position, desktop, and preferred view model left right handedness. Right, so view model position, definitely keep it on desktop. Classic, I think, doesn't look that great. Detached silencer and M4A1S and USPS. This is completely personal preference. I would find myself accidentally hitting it more than actually wanting to take off the silencer on those guns, so I kept it on disabled. And I play right-handed, but I do have it binded to my keyboard, so if I want to switch, I can just press that button, but I keep it on right for the most part. First-person tracers enabled. Always show inventory, yes. Open by menu with use key, yes. By menu number keys, number key by items. By menu donation key, left control, and last weapon on radial weapon tab is grayed out, but it's yes. Radar and tablet. Radar centers the player, yes. Radar is rotating, yes. Radar HUD map blends with background, yes. Blur background, yes. Radar map background opacity, 0.63. Radar HUD size, 1. Radar map zoom, 0.7. Radar map alternate zoom, 1. Toggle square shape with scoreboard, yes. Force square shape, no. Radar zooming dynamically, no. Now for crosshair settings, this one is definitively use the best one for you. No crosshair is going to be good for every single one. You can kind of have like a good baseline, like the crosshair I'm using right now. It'd be good for a lot of people, but just small, so if you like a bigger crosshair, then you might not like my crosshair. I'm gonna go through my crosshair settings, but I also have a video which is on the top of the screen right now, walking through the best crosshair settings for a lot of different people. So if you want to go check out the video, make sure you do so. So crosshair style, classic static. You should probably keep it on classic static all the time. Friendly fire reticle warning, it's always on. Honestly, I've never noticed it in game. I thought I had it turned off. You can keep it however you want. Follow recoil, no. Center dot, no. Length, 1. Thickness, 1. Gap, -4. Outline, unchecked. Red, 0. Green, 255. Blue, 0. Alpha, 200. T-style, no. Deployed weapon gap, no. Use crosshair color for scope dot, no. Show player crosshairs, everyone. Show my crosshair when spectating bots, never. Sniper sights, these are new settings. Delay sniper rifle unscope after shot, no. Show scope sniper rifle inaccuracy, no. Auto resume sniper rifle after shot, yes. Sniper crosshair thickness, 1. Scope dot scale, 1. Grenade lineup reticle, keep regular crosshair, yes. All of the individual grenade settings are checked and kept at default, so they're all going to be checked and at 2.0. Damage prediction, turn all of these off. They only lead to you thinking that you killed an enemy and them not actually being dead. So predict body shot effects, no. Predict headshot effects, no. Predict ragdolls, no. Turn all of these off. For telemetry, show frame time and FPS always. I think it's a good baseline setting. I think most people shout this on. Frame time warning threshold, it is 10 FPS. Show ping, always. Show network problems, never. Show tick miss rate warning threshold, 2. Network tick miss rate warning threshold, 2. Show network jitter / misdelivery graph, never. And use detailed network quality display, never. Now for keyboard and mouse. Reverse mouse, off. Duck mode, hold. Walk mode, hold. Zoom button hold, repeat disabled. Mouse sensitivity 1.10, zoom sensitivity multiplier 1. Movement keys, toggle inventory display, I have it unbound. All of my movement keys are default to WASD. Walk is my side mouse button, duck is left shift, and jump is space. I do have jump double bounded, so it is space, but it's also my mouse wheel. I use mouse wheel most of the time, but it's bound space here. Weapon keys, for use, it's E. Fire, mouse 1, secondary fire, mouse 2, reload R. These 3 are unbound. Last weapon used, Q. Dropped weapon G. Inspect weapon F. Switch view model left right hand, L. Buy menu V. Auto buy F3. Rebuy F4. Primary weapon 1. Secondary weapon 2. Melee weapon 3. Grenade cycle 4. Explosive traps 5. HE grenade 6. Flashbang 7. Smoke grenade 8. Decoy grenade 9. Molotov is 0. Zeus is unbound, health shot is X, utility items is unbound, and graffiti menu is U. For my UI keys, the scoreboard is tab, show team equipment is unbound, toggle radar zoom is unbound, call vote is unbound, choose team is M, and toggle console is this like tilde key. Communication options, player ping, mouse 3, which is like mouse wheel button, radio message Z, command radio message unbound, standard radio message unbound, report radio message is unbound, team message is Y, chat message is T, use microphone is mouse 5, which is the other side mouse button, toggle between open mic and push to talk is unbound, temporarily disable incoming chats is unbound. Chat wheel keys all are unbound, and here is the chat wheel phrases. I've never changed any of this, but if you want to copy what I have, here it is right here. Now, that's going to be it for my best settings in 2026 video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm going to make another one of these next year. If you did like this video, like and subscribe. I'm going to try to upload more frequently. I've kind of been slacking off with the whole upload thing, especially towards the end of 2025. Thanks for watching. Thanks to Skidsbuggy for sponsoring this video. I'll see you guys in the next one.